We're still spending some good time with the MP, the Member of Parliament. I like to call him the human rights lawyer because, again, as I said in my preamble, again, the introduction to this show, I said if you think of any human rights lawyer, close your eyes, think about any human rights lawyer in this country, who comes to mind? I think is Honorable Francis Xavier Sosu. Who else is a human rights lawyer in this country?
Oh, my senior colleague, I think Martin Pebu, is also distinguishing himself. He's also distinguished himself as a very renowned. I think like them, a lot of people have played their roles. You see, human rights it's a practice and advocacy, and there are a lot of very senior lawyers who have done incredible work in this field. Except that it's not all of them that have had like maybe attention, like some of the things that like I've been pushing or working on, and most of the things that I've shared in these books are things that were matters of public interest already before I took on those courses. That's why they became as pronounced, and I'm sure in guilty until proven innocent, I'll share a couple of those cases.
So let's now go to the next one, and this is guilty until proven innocent, and this is turned upside down. Why?
Well, I mean, that is how we have turned the criminal justice system upside down, you know. And I always say this, even though with caution, I would say that when it comes to criminal justice, it doesn't matter the number of cases you got right. What matters is the innocent person that you either convicted, you violated, or you put in prison for no cause or no justifiable cause. So in criminal justice, you can't be screaming that, well, we got as much as possible, we get as many of them correct. No. And that is why in criminal justice, persons who are, one, alleged to have committed offenses, you presume them innocent until proven guilty. And when it comes to proving their guilt, the law is that you prove their guilt beyond reasonable doubt. That is the standard of proof.
Is that not birthing a lot of, if you like, criminals, the more where they understand that we can even take advantage of the system?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. You see, because anytime a person is alleged to have committed offense, it is that one single person against the entire state machinery. And it's only you. You see, so, and you say I've committed an offense. In the law, there is no obligation on a person who has been alleged to have committed offense. The obligation lies on the state to prove that offense beyond reasonable doubt. Because every offense has, its ingredients. And so it is for the state to lead evidence, either get the investigators to investigate and make sure they have sufficient evidence to convict the person before they even put the person before court. You understand? But most often than not, this system of criminal justice is what has been turned upside down in most cases that I have worked on, particularly when it comes to violation of the most vulnerable in our country.
So where they get beating even before they get beating even before they get sent to the police station.
So for example,
the police station beats the
those things, things like that, those perversions. So for example, in this case, a story is told of a young lady, Abna Nyamiche. Now, Abna Nyamiche is a characterization of about 3, 4, 5 different cases that I have done, which are live cases. So Abna Nyamiche has a pure contract with a colleague, a friend, and breaches the contract because, they buy and sell. Now, this friend knows a police officer, who had a police officer as the boyfriend. So reports this matter to the boyfriend. The boyfriend have to show Abna Nyamiche where the power lies. So he comes in, gets Abna Nyamiche arrested, abuse her, the abuses that you can never see. Gets to the station and then locks her up, without even asking her anything, no caution, nothing, and just locked up. And Abna Nyamiche is locked up at the time that it's already a Friday, as typically police will do. And, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nobody minds you. Then on Monday, court is not sitting. So then they take Abna Nyamiche to like a court, even though court will not sit, court had closed, they managed to get a fictitious warrant with which they then remanded Abna Nyamiche. Abna Nyamiche is taken to his own prisons and forgotten. The warrant has expired.
Whoa.
And I only came across Abna Nyamiche when we were doing the Justice for All program. And now had to take the case of Abna Nyamiche on. Took the case on to the extent that even chased after the judge that in whose court this fictitious warrant was manufactured, take on the police officers and all that, and the rest is a long story. You just need to read Guilty Until Proven Innocent. And in that story, I've shared bits of the story of, for example, like Charles Entry. And I talked about how the collusion between media, sensationalism, sometimes, lead to trumped up charges. I've shared bits of stories of like how, Chachu Chikata, for example, was presumed guilty before, the court, pronounced that he was innocent. So I've shared very, very insightful inspirations that whether you're a law student, a lover of law, anybody who loves law and who wants to do law someday, your children want to do law, what a kind of inspiration you want to find in law, particularly even lawyers, judges, students, everybody. You will find Guilty Until Proven Innocent, in fact, very insightful, especially even criminal law law lecturers who will find some of the stories extremely insightful.
I see.
Then also, as a concluding part, I had taken time to do a survey on our justice system. And the results of the survey, it's an independent survey I did. I had over 2,000 respondents. The results of that survey is also published as part of the book.
We'll take a break. When we come back, I know you are itching to hear from him, especially one that has to do, first of all, with Attorney General and Ministry of Justice. That is one big one. Then, of course, the General Legal Counsel, and that's where these books would treat that. And the one that is also happening now, Ama Governor, who is in the heart of controversies. All of these and more with my guest, lawyer Francis Xavier Sosu. Stay with us.